Hi everyone, it's Darlene. It is Monday. I am sitting in front of Shaw's and I have already been to pick up the flyer and I came out empty-handed. No flyer. I did buy a few things in reduced and some cabbage. But first, let's talk about the flyer. I feel stupid because I insisted on somebody else looking for the flyer after the first person told me it wasn't here, because I wasn't satisfied with that answer, because that has happened to me in the past, that people just say, oh, it's not here, and it's there, and they find it if they just look a little harder. So first I went to customer service, it's not here. I went out back and I couldn't find anybody. I went and asked somebody else. He directed me to the store manager, who is not in love with me. When I say that, I don't want you guys to think that I just imagine these things. It's not that he doesn't like me in particular. I just think that he's not the most friendly person. I mean, there are people like that. You run into them all the time when you go shopping, and he's just that type. He went to look, and I saw him head in one direction towards like the bottle room and the customer service area, and I didn't see that he had gone out back. So when he came back and said that the flyer wasn't here, I asked him if he went out back, and I know that insulted him because his reply was, yeah, I went out back. And I was like, and then he left, and I was also with the store manager, who's back from medical leave, and she, I explained to her a little bit about an issue that I had not long ago, and she was familiar with what I was talking about. I felt really dumb, but I'm like, would you please make sure that the flyer isn't here? I mean, I was so sure it was here. So, I mean, I hate doing that, but I'm telling you, I have been told the flyer's not here, I would say at least 10 times in the past 3-something years that I've been doing this. It's always been there. One time I got sent home saying it wasn't here, and they really looked, and then when I got home I got a phone call, Darlene, we found it. So I went back and picked it up. But there are times that they withhold the flyer, and they've told me it's here but we can't give it out. So the last time that I had an issue, I was just being told from one person to another that it wasn't here. So I kept asking people to please look, because nobody was telling me it's here but you can't have it. I was finally told it's here but you can't have it. And that didn't sit right with me, because it's like, why couldn't I have been told that right away? Okay, I don't want to get into it all and relive all of that. But the thing is that I believe that the flyer is not here because the store manager herself went to all the departments where that flyer could actually be, and she did not find it. So I'm confident that it's not here. A little bit of me still thinks it's here, but not because they're trying to tell me differently. I absolutely believe that they searched high and low for this flyer, and it is nowhere to be found. So if it's here, it's just because it is so buried somewhere. But it is very possible that it's not here. So I'm going with the fact that it's not here. So, you know what? I mean, I just feel, again, like it's a sign that I maybe should be moving on to other things. And I'm going to explain a little bit to you why. And I can explain. I'm not Ricky Ricardo. And I can explain a little bit more in detail. And I have talked about it a little bit. But this gig of mine, this blogging, has been my main source of income. Well, I started it over 4 years ago, and I started making money immediately. I was very, very lucky. It was right at the height of the... I have to be quiet for a minute. It was right at the height of the, couponing rebirth, and my income just went up for like 2 years, and then it started going down. Not anything to do with my fault. It's just the way the affiliates work and how they adjust, how they pay affiliates, and stuff like that. So it's going downhill fast right now. This month even took a big, huge dive down. I I have to make money. I have to make money. And another thing that you don't know is that my husband, who lives in Louisiana and is this month moving back to Houston, has left his job. He is going to be 60 years old. He's an alcoholic. The reason he doesn't live here with me anymore has to do with the fact that he's an alcoholic. Love my husband. He would have been a very good husband had he not had a drinking problem. So I'm starting to tell you all kinds of things at once here today. I can tell my life is changing. But anyway, we made a decision that he would go stay with his mother. I would stay here with his mother. And that was almost 5 years ago that he went back. He was here in Maine with me for 10 years, and he moved back 5 years ago. And for those 5 years, I was like biting my nails every week. Is he going to continue to keep this job? Because I can't imagine how he's able to go to work and work long hours while he's also drinking all the time. So, and he doesn't eat. He doesn't eat hardly at all. He is like a bone. I mean, well, he has more than one bone. And so about a month ago, he called me in the middle of the night and said, I'm walking out of my job. And, you know, what can I say? I can't say much. So we've lost that income. We lost health insurance. We lost his income. So now we're living on my income. 2 households, my income. But he will be moving. His mother's going to her own apartment back in Houston so that his brothers can help Andy, my husband, with their mother, and Andy will be, he's under the impression that he's going to get work. If he does, then that means being a lab tech is not fussy as to who they hire, because his brain is fried. But he's under the impression that he will get a job. If he doesn't, he's going to be living, hopefully, with a brother, because I can't afford to pay his rent, my house, and, you know, all that. I mean, that's a lot of money. So anyway, what the point is that my income is going down fast. I mean, it has completely caved in over the past month. My husband's left his job. Coupons.com isn't paying squat. And it's just, I have to find something else. So I've talked about doing my clothing again. But you know what? When I used to sell my clothing for 11 years, that had also gone downhill. It started out great. I was on eBay. At the time, there was only like one other person on eBay selling, I call them tunics, but they're like gigantic caftans, muumuus, if you want, for obese women. I mean, extremely obese, oversized women. At the time, that was almost impossible to find, especially custom made and in the prints and types of fabrics that I used. So my tunics used to get bid up high. I would start some of them for a penny just because that's what we did in those days. And we were safe to know. eBay was still fairly new. My product was rare and unique, so people would bid them up. And I used to sell... Oh, I mean, they would sell for some of them over $150. And I sold a lot. I mean, I did that for 11 years, but that too started to go downhill. Don't you hit me. So it came a time that I had to give that up, and that's exactly when I started blogging. But when I have changed businesses in the past, I've always had Andy's income to get me through like the 2 months, 3 months of startup. We have no income now coming in from Andy, and I don't know if we ever will again. I just don't know. I can't imagine that he's going to get hired. Did I spit? I am such a spitter. So I am stressed to the max, yet I'm not. I don't know. It's very hard to explain. I can worry about everything. Everything. I worry about things that no normal person would ever care about or worry about. But for some reason, when it comes to money, it doesn't really scare me. I've always been able to just make it. It's like, okay, I need to make this, I need to do this, I start another business, and it works. It's just the way it works for me. So something exciting is bound to happen to me because I need to make a lot of money. That's all there is to it. I need to, if my husband needs to be supported until the day he dies of alcoholism, and I'm certainly convinced that that's in his near future, and I know that sounds cold, but I've been through it before with my brother. I nursed my brother, and he died of alcoholism, and I took care of him, and he got out of my house. I took care of him for weeks. He lived in Arizona. I went to Arizona, brought him back to Maine, and nursed that man back to health. He was under hospice care, and after like 3 months, they took him off hospice because he had recovered that much, and he left my house on foot and made it back to Arizona and drank himself to death. So I know how it goes, and but I'm going to stick by my hubby because he was very good to me in many ways and made it completely possible for me to take care of my father for 2 years while my father was dying. And I'll always be grateful for that. So, like I said, this is just, I didn't expect to be talking about all this today, but, I just feel like there are, all signs are saying that I have to move on to something else. I want to keep my blog going, but I have to concentrate and put my time into something that's going to pay the bills. So I just don't know what to do anymore. I really don't. I just feel bad because you guys have been with me, many of you from the beginning, and somebody started their very loud vehicle. It sounds like a boat. What do I do, huh? Tell me what to do. I don't really know if sewing is my answer. I really don't think it is, because I think that's done its course. And, it's like I need something new. Just don't know. All right. While I think about it and try to put my life back together, I'll just show you the couple things. I bought 4 heads of cabbage. I'm going to be cabbaging it out. Cabbaging it out? No such saying. I'm going to be ODing on cabbage for a while because it's 27 cents a pound. In reduced bread, I got my mother some. Oh, I didn't know they were light. Well, I can black out that word. Hot dog rolls to go with the Red Franks I bought her the other day. 75 cents. I did get, first I picked a custard pie, then I noticed they had a coconut custard pie. So this was $6, and it's on reduced for $3. She loves custard, she loves coconut, so that's going to be a hit. I also got her, she's going to absolutely love this. I almost would have been better off to buy like a couple things of this. Hermits. As soon as I saw them, I said, those are hermits. See. Oh my God, they smell good and spicy strong. My glasses are fogging up because I'm crying. These were $3, so $1.50 for hermits that smell very, very, very good. Hermits are, in case you don't know, like a spice cake with raisins and stuff and molasses. So I don't know. I mean, somebody else will have the flyer, and maybe I'll just do deals off that. Maybe I just need to take a couple days off and just really think about this and figure out what direction my life has to go in and just go in that direction. I mean, I have to. Please understand that I have to pay the bills. And I don't know if any of you really realize how blogging has paid my bills. We're not talking just, pocket change that I make. It was my income that I could absolutely live off. So, and what I did is, because I was always so afraid that my husband would lose his job, never dreamed he would walk out. And so while he was making that money and while I was making good money, I paid off that rental property that I have. I paid this. My car is paid. Everything is paid. So it's not like I have debt. So at least I have enough in savings to get me through a hump, to get me through a change in career. But what am I gonna do? I'm not a YouTube sensation yet, so my little earnings on YouTube are certainly not paying the bills. They're going up, but boy, oh boy, is it slow increasing on that. And yes, in case you don't know, I earn money doing these videos. I don't just do hula hooping for nothing. I get paid to do that, but it's minimal. For the first year, I was lucky if I made $30 a month, which is nothing, and now I'm making about $50 a month, but there are people who make couple $1,000s per video, and those are the people who have like 1 million subscribers. I'm certainly not under the impression that YouTube will ever be a form of income for me. I do it because I love it, and if I make $50, that goes towards something, whatever. I'm not going to complain. But even if I made 0 on YouTube, I would still do it because it's my therapy. It's my form of therapy, and it's free for me to have therapy with you guys, helping me through everything that I go through. I don't know. I just don't know. The stress of coming here every Monday is great. It weighs heavily on me all the time, not just on Monday, but all the weekend before. All week, it's like the stress of coming in, and I know that I don't do well when it comes to fixing a problem. I mean, I come across as though I don't particularly care for the grocery manager because I don't. And I don't know how to hide that fact. I don't know how to be all like lovey-dovey to somebody who I feel such a distant relationship with. I mean, so it's always stressful for me to come here. But the reason I kept doing it all the time is because it's paying my bills. But now if blogging is not going to pay my bills anymore, I mean, I know you guys love the flyer, but, do you want me to put a PayPal donation box under the flyer? I don't think you do. So, it's like I'm not gonna be able to continue to do it because it takes a lot of time. If I go into another career, I mean, I have to be gung-ho in that career like I was gung-ho with this career, like I was gung-ho with my sewing career, like I was gung-ho with my advertising career before that. I mean, it's like I'm a gung-ho kind of girl. Gung-ho! What was that? Let's go home. Let's go home and have a drink. No, I can have an Alka-Seltzer. Can't drink. Don't drink. See, when I got together with my husband, I met my husband years ago when I was 14, when I was visiting Texas. He's from Texas. And when I got together with him, I was at the height of my drinking. So at the time, it was like a good match. I had a drinking buddy, and that wasn't going to work because I knew we were drinking ourselves to death. So I got out of it. He didn't. He did for a little while, actually. I take that back, which is why I married him. Because we did have like 3 years of him being nearly sober and drinking behind my back and all that stuff. But, for the most part, it wasn't bad. It was nice, and we did things together. And, I forget that we had that. Once he went back to the booze, there's no room for me in that life of his. And I understand that because when I was a drunkard, there was no room for anybody else but me. And so I get it, and I don't hate him for that. So anyway, maybe I'll start talking more about my life now that my life is completely falling apart. So that's it. I appreciate you listening, and I hope that my personal life doesn't make you uncomfortable in any way. Just think of it this way. If it makes you uncomfortable, think of how I feel. I live it! Let's go home. Let's think of something to do. I'll probably be posting this video early since I don't have a flyer to post. So, whatever. I'll be anxious to get your feedback. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me. I need to know. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. And to all my new subscribers, how weird that I'm getting this influx of new subscribers who are just finding me through YouTube. And, they don't know my history with the deals and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, they're just going to start hearing this wackadoodle stuff. So, I don't know. I just hope you all stick around. Thank you so much. I'm going to blow you kisses even though there's people right next to me. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye. Oh, and thumbs up, because I cried. Always deserves a thumbs up.